Greetings. This is TK Trav, aka Travis Magus, here with LVX777. So look, in just a few days, I'm going to be giving a live lecture in Atlanta, Georgia, and I hope to see you there at the Master Student Conference Part 2. It's going to be a pretty awesome time. I'm excited. Everybody's coming with some heat. I know for sure I'm coming with some heat, so there's going to be a lot of information there that you don't want to miss. So hopefully you've got your in-person ticket, or hopefully you've got your virtual ticket, because either way you're going to be tuned in to the downloads, to the live stream, and you're going to get exactly what you came for. So that's one of the many things that I have on the table right now. Um, Along with that, I'm currently in the process of writing two books, right? My two first books. And two, maybe because I'm a Gemini, or maybe just because I have a lot on my mind, um, essentially is going to deal with low magic and high magic, right? When we say high magic, we're talking about reintegrating and becoming aware of what we call the soul, right? Reintegrating and becoming aware of what ultimate higher consciousness is, whatever you want to call it. Pretty much setting up the bridge to enlightenment. Now, enlightenment happens in degrees and stages. It's not like suddenly you're someone or something different, but your experience of life changes, right? Enlightenment and things like that doesn't necessarily mean that you're suddenly on some mountain somewhere and you don't have to go to work. What it means is how you receive and interpret reality has completely changed. So yeah, you still have a physical body and you still have to go through the karma of that body. But the consciousness has been connected with that higher consciousness, just like a drop of water would enter into a bathtub. So it isn't so much about running away from your problems or fighting your problems, it's about absorbing yourself into yourself. But we'll get into that later. The other book that I'm writing about low magic is going to be primarily about the Goetia and evoking the different spirits. Now, the reason that this is called low magic is because this deals directly with the fulfillment of the individual, the fulfillment of the personality, the fulfillment of the ego. Because let's face it, if your life is in shambles, if your life is unhappy, if you're not fulfilled in what you're doing, then you're not going to be able to concentrate on the higher magic, right? If you're still struggling to pay bills, if you're struggling to find a partner, if you're lonely and depressed and all these different things, your mind isn't going to be focused enough to work towards the higher information. So the lower magic is necessary, right? Now, working with the Goetic spirits is just one way. There's multiple ways. So what I found from working on these projects is that most of the time when people do get into working with these spirits or get into working with any type of spellcraft or anything like that that can be considered witchcraft or low magic or even sorcery to a degree, what we find is that most of the magic that we perform is done with the intention to heal traumas or to avoid pain, right? Why would you summon a spirit to attack somebody? Why would you summon a spirit to entice someone to fall in love with you? Why would you summon a spirit so that you can gain wealth? Normally, these things are attached to some type of trauma. And you know this to be true. If there was harmony and if there was balance, then there wouldn't be any need or desire to go out externally to fulfill those desires. You get what I'm saying? So, after years of going through that myself, right? Because I worked with all 72 spirits of the Goetia. And this was done over the course of years, not just in a couple of weeks. This was done through the course of years. And I found a valuable lesson. What I originally thought was that these spirits was going to get me love, get me wealth, right? And just make my life easy. That's what I thought. But when I came out of this process, I was transformed, right? I was transformed into a new being. Why? Because in working with the Goetic spirits, I learned what my true underlying issues were all about. Why was I summoning demons to find love? Because I didn't feel loved, right? Why am I summoning demons to gather wealth? Because my mindset was on scarcity. Living on check to check will put you in the mindset of scarcity. But when I learned how to work with these spirits to invoke income, to invoke love and those things like that, what I found was that love and money and health, they're not scarce. They're not limited. It's not a limited supply. It's literally in abundance. And what I found is that a lot of this stuff deals with you just coming into alignment with these concepts, coming into alignment with abundance. If you truly do that, you begin to lose the desire to reach out and grab it externally. So, all this to say, as I'm writing my book on the Goetia, I come to realize if I were to go back and help myself when I first started, what would I give myself to save myself time, to save myself suffering, and to make this process so much easier for myself? What would I change? And I realized what I would do is I would give myself a thorough breakdown and understanding of what shadow work is all about. And I would help myself go through that process. Because what I feel like and what I understand is that if I had my shadow neutralized, if I had my shadow self integrated, then that would have saved me so many problems. So, with that being said, what I've put together is called the Shadow Work Mastery System. And basically, what this is a four-step system, right? And this four-step system helps you to heal your inner child, right? Because a lot of these issues that we face come from a wounded inner child. Let's face it. And that doesn't necessarily mean you've been abused or hurt like that, even though it can. We saw reality differently when we were children, right? So, what that means to say is things may have happened to us that we could have exaggerated, that we could have misinterpreted. So, regardless if they actually happened the way that we remember them to have happened, the impact and the effect was the same. You get what I'm saying? So even if our parents may have said something, or a teacher or a classmate may have said something, or if anyone, if anything could have happened to us, we could have interpreted it in a way that was painful to us. That left a trauma, it left an imprint. And that imprint has affected your personality even up to the present day. And if it isn't neutralized, if it isn't reintegrated, it will continue to influence your behavior. And if you keep going down that road, there is no free will because you've become a prisoner to your inner child's wounds. So, one of the major points in this shadow work mastery system is healing the inner child, right? That's the very first thing we get to in the program. The second thing we deal with is experiencing personal growth. We're all in this for personal growth. We all want to be the better and best aspects of ourselves. But the thing is, what holds us back is that a lot of us feel lost. We don't know what to do, what steps to take. And even worse, we don't know what milestones to hit that shows that we're making progress. You feel what I'm saying? So that's going to be the second major key that's hit. The third major key is becoming your authentic self, right? Because of how our personalities are shaped, we often wear a mask, right? And sometimes it's more obvious, sometimes it's very subtle, but we wear a mask to blend into with society. And oftentimes, if we live in that mask for too long, we start to forget how to access that authentic self. Now, all these things combined go into what's called the shadow, right? This is the part of us that may be neglected. This is the part of us that we try not to think about. This is the part of us that we even project onto others when we have these enemies or these arguments, or if there's these things that we don't like about people. Typically, it's coming from the shadow aspect of ourselves, right? Whether it's a wounded child, whether it wounded inner child, whether it's some kind of past experience in our adolescence or even in our adult life, right? Or even if we feel stagnant or we feel lost or if we feel like we don't have goals and things like that. So the big thing about shadow work is learning how to access whatever pieces of the subconscious mind that's causing the blockage and harmonize those parts, right? It's about harmony. It's about coming into alignment. Because here's the thing, how many of you have tried affirmations, right? Oh, I'm a millionaire. Oh, I'm healthy. Oh, I'm wise. And all these good things are happening to me. You say that with your mouth, but in the subconscious mind, in the back of your head, you're saying, you don't believe this stuff. This isn't real. This isn't true. You're wasting your time. And it's weird because logically, we understand that if we say these affirmations and believe them, they'll come true, right? Not just because it's wishful thinking, but because it's programming the mind. But at the same time, emotionally, we feel blocked. That's the thing. You have multiple aspects. You've got your physical self, you've got your emotional self, and you have the mental self. And there's also the spiritual self. But those lower three selves, they have to be in alignment with each other in order for the spiritual self to shine through clearly. You get what I'm saying? That's why I keep saying it's about alignment. It's not about gaining anything external. The physical body has to be harmonized with the emotional body and with the mental body. See, with the mental body, you'll say the affirmations. But with the emotional body, if there's trauma there, it'll reject those affirmations. So you end up feeling stuck. So imagine if there were a system that you could follow that could help you identify where these blockages are in your emotional body. And this does deal with magic because the emotional body is the astral body. And on the side, if you're having trouble with astral projection or lucid dreaming, psychologically, it can be very well connected to trauma that is stored in the emotional body, right? Physical science today is showing us that when we do have pain and trauma and things like that, we store it in the body. There's a book called The Body Keeps the Score. Check that out. The Body Keeps the Score. These traumas that happen to us, we store them in the emotional body and the physical body, right? And if these are not addressed, if they're not harmonized, they will continue to block you for the rest of your life. So just think, even if you have these emotional issues, these blockages, these pain points, and you go to start working with spirits, if you go to start working with angels or any type of magic, right? Demons, Goetia, whatever, ancestors, even the ancestors, right? You'll find that the flow, the connection is blocked. It's obscured. It's almost like it's cloudy and you can't see through it. So this is why shadow work is so important, right? Shadow work is not just fighting inner demons. Shadow work is not just being nice to yourself. Shadow work is really taking a look in the mirror and seeing clearly and accepting it, integrating it, not fighting it, not running away from it, but learning how to see it without pain, learning how to see yourself without being emotionally disturbed. So that way you can reintegrate it with yourself, and then you can live harmonized and be happy. Then you can receive abundance. Because remember what I said before, I was doing all these rituals for money and for love because I felt like I didn't deserve love. I felt like love was hard to get. I felt like money was hard to get. But what I didn't understand was that if I align myself with abundance and truly believe that not only am I deserving of it and I'm worth it, but that everyone is worth it, that I don't have to do anything special to receive it. I just have to receive it. It wasn't until I truly learned that I began to realize the importance of shadow work. All the stuff I was doing with those Goetic spirits years ago was because my inner child needed love and attention. So all that to say is, it's crucial to work on your shadow work. Look, you don't have to take my class because I don't necessarily think it's for everybody, right? But please pay attention to your emotional self. Pay attention to your mental self. And of course, pay attention to your physical self. These have to be in alignment for abundance to flow. And if you are somebody who is ready to go through the system and take these processes seriously and fast track your healing of your inner child, fast track your personal growth, and to fast track becoming your authentic self, you can take this new system that I've put together. It's not like any of the old rehashed stuff that people are talking about. This is a new system designed not to set you up to fight your shadow, but to absorb and integrate it and make it a part of yourself again, to harmonize. So check that out. The shadow work mastery system is opening up in just a few days, right? Maybe tomorrow, maybe the next day, but certainly before the live event. And I think that this is a necessary step on all of our paths. It was a necessary step on my path. And like I said in the beginning of this video, if I could go back to my younger self when I was working with magic in general, I would have told myself with passion This is the most important step to do first. Not tarot, not astrology, not Goetic experience. Healing my inner child, right? Learning what it means to be my authentic self versus wearing a mask. That's what I'll go back and tell myself. So again, like I said, this shadow work mastery system is going to be opening up soon. And if you want to take a part of it, again, just leave a comment, hit me up. But it will be opening. I'll let everybody know about it in probably another day or so. But this is just giving you a heads up. And also, because of the live event, we're not doing a book study this week because I'm preparing for just making sure I got the speech that I'm going to give. And, also working on my books and also working on this course here. So, if you have any questions about shadow work, if you have any questions about anything like that, go ahead and shoot them to me now so maybe I can answer a few. And, of course, I know that we all have a lot of similar issues, so your question might help somebody else, and plus I can include it in the course if I haven't touched it already. So peace to everybody who's here. Peace, peace. Sai K, peace and greetings. Hood Mystic, great to have you. Tree Marie, always good to see you. Reina Leona, peace, peace. Reina Leona asks, hey Travis, are you recording the Atlanta lecture? It is being recorded, but it's probably going to be under the dominion of Dreamwise. Country Girl says, my trauma from divorce and watching my mom die from cancer during that time caused me so much sorrow. Yo, that was 20 years ago. I'm still stuck. Yeah, and that's very heavy. That's the exact thing that I'm talking about. It's easy to get stuck there because that emotional weight is so heavy. So heavy. It's almost as if a part of you froze there, right? And you didn't just lose. You don't just feel like you lost the people you loved, but you also feel like you lost a part of yourself. So it's like you're grieving for three people. There's a way to let that go. There's a way to let that go. And of course, it would take a little bit longer than 5 seconds here, but focus on what you value. What do you want out of life today? Try your best to see clearly where you want things to go from this point. Because the main issue is that you're frozen, stuck in that emotional space. And no matter what you do physically, emotionally, you're going to be stuck there. So you're going to have to work on constructing a new emotional space that you can move towards. But that is something that we do cover in the class as well. But in the meantime, try your best to configure some type of future goals for yourself. Future goals that will be objective, so you can actually see the progress, and also future goals that are going to be a plan based, so that you can process based, so you can start to form a process to getting there. Something that you can see the results of, and something that you can know that you have a step by step way to get there. Because what this is going to do is it's going to keep you focused on the process instead of focused on the pain. You've got to move the awareness. The awareness is what we're actually healing here, right? The awareness is what we're healing. And oftentimes the awareness gets frozen solid on those pain points. Let me know if that helps. Let me know if it doesn't. Matthew Watson, peace, brother. Omni Arlandria, peace, peace. Sabrina Art Life, good to have you here. Isaac McCoy, peace, bro. Al Dickey, peace, peace. Mario 2502, peace and greetings. Monique Bryant, good to see you, good to see you. Uppity Unicorn, horns up. Court Singh, peace, brother, peace. Nuru, greetings, greetings. Mo B. You gotta send me the link to that chicken and waffles candle, because never in my life have I smelt a candle that smells like fried chicken. Beautiful. The Uaku asks, what are some practical steps to begin integrating your shadow? To be honest, one of the best tools for this is what we've been talking about on my channel, which is truly understanding what non-attachment means. Because that's going to be your greatest tool. You're looking in a mirror, right? Shadow work is looking in the mirror. That's what we're doing here. And one of the biggest issues that have caused the trauma, or I should say the continuation of trauma, is the mislabeling and the misinterpretation of events and their emotional impact. So, what I mean is, let's just say, for example, dealing with magic. Say you might have a dream where there's someone in all black with a black hat and a cloak, and they're just standing, uh, you know, on the edge of your bed. Now, this can go one of two ways. You can wake up and say, oh my God, I'm being attacked. There's shadow people. They're going to paralyze me and eat my soul and drain my melanin. And you can go off on that tangent. Or you can say, maybe this was an ancestor watching over me. Maybe this was an aspect of myself present as well. Maybe I'm floating out of my body looking at myself. Notice that those are two different paths you can take, because I'm talking about the mislabeling of events here. If you didn't know any better and you went with that fear aspect, you're literally choosing a direction to go and blocking the other. So you're literally rejecting any help that you could have potentially received. There's a secret to this. When we're dealing with the subjective realm, nothing is concrete. Nothing is concrete. The old chaos magic maxiom is nothing is true, everything is permitted. Now, what that means is there's a little bit of leeway that you have dealing with the etheric and the astral realm. These are the realms of imagination and the realms of memory. There's a little bit of leeway that you have, meaning that how you label what you experience determines your experience. That's why you keep hearing me say things like, there are no enemies, right? Because if you see things from a certain angle, from a certain perspective, you'll realize there aren't any enemies. There are experiences here that teach you about yourself, right? See, it's about positioning. It's about positioning. See, I'm not talking about fighting your shadow. I'm talking about reintegrating your shadow. What does that mean? If you guys are old enough, you might have remembered when Mike Tyson fought Evander Holyfield, right? That was a fight. These are two men standing at roughly equal power, beating each other down, and we don't know who's going to be the winner. That's not shadow work. That's more trauma. What I'm talking about is integrating the shadow. And that's like having a drop of water fall from the faucet into the tub, right? That water drop that becomes one with the tub, it's reintegrated, it's no longer separate. That's a different framework than fighting your shadow. So my course is about reintegrating this thing so that it is no longer something separate and projected that you're fighting against. Because like I said, it's about alignment. It's about alignment. So as far as practical steps to integrating your shadow, understand what non-attachment is all about. Because you're looking into a mirror, and if you continue to emotionally react, you're going to continue causing waves of disconnect. And that's not healing, that's causing more discord. Again, there are tools, techniques, and practices that are going to be in the course that cover this. Peculiar Conscious Project. Peace. Good stuff. Doug's Unlimited. Peace, peace. Dom Knights 3000 says rookie beginner here. Yeah, and see, I know. All right, we're back. Yeah, Court Singh, you're absolutely right. Battery. I came back and it's 3333. Yeah, battery went out. Sorry about that, guys. But yeah, I was talking about the newbie question. This is going to be designed to be able to help people who are brand new at this. This is going to be designed to help people who don't necessarily know the ins and the outs of magic. This course isn't designed for advanced practitioners, although it can help advanced practitioners. The main target here is human beings in general. Now, it would help if you have some understanding of the things that I talk about on my channel, but this isn't going to be something that's meant to beat you down with intellect. The goal is to get you the results. The goal is to get you the results of healing your inner child, the results of integrating your shadow, and the results of being your true authentic self. That's the goal for this. So it isn't about me trying to be intellectual and deep. This, I feel, is something that's necessary. It's necessary. Like I said, if I could go back in time, this would be the first thing I would tell myself to focus on. So yeah, it will be user friendly for the newbie. Another thing, I know that you guys, you watch my content and it usually goes for a long time, right? I do these live streams for hours and hours. You know, we've even gone 24 hours at some point. The course is not like that. I understand that everybody's busy. You've got your own lives to live, and you got these different things that's going on between kids, between work, between your own creative projects, your career, your school, etc. So this isn't designed to be like super long modules, right? It's not going to be 4 hour modules. Um, it's going to be 4 modules, and altogether the course might total anywhere from 2 to 4 hours if you just count everything. But this is going to be designed in somewhat of bite-sized pieces so that you can kind of just digest it along the week and gradually start working on the different aspects of change, of inner change and inner transformation. So this isn't like something that's going to improve what you're doing already. This is a new system. This is going to be something completely different, something you haven't tried before. So you may have had issues in the past where things didn't work out. You may have tried different techniques, different systems, even, or maybe just picking up random stuff on Google or Instagram or YouTube. But this is going to be something that's put together from the perspective of somebody who understands psychology and who understands how the spirit relates to the body and how the role that memory plays, which is something we're really going to get into in my lecture on Monday in Atlanta. Super excited. I'm going to try my best not to go too deep. But yeah, just getting back to the questions here. Make sure I didn't miss anything. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I think it's the emotions that make me feel stuck. Absolutely. Absolutely. And there's something there that's causing that blockage. Now, I said that my system is different. One of the things different about my system is we're not, in order to sit down and really get to what exactly happened and uncovered that, we'd have to sit down and go through a full session, right? Like some kind of hypnosis or some kind of like one-on-one thing. So we're not taking that approach. In this system, it isn't so important to pull up exactly what happened. In this system, we're going to deal with the emotions that are present. Because if we deal straight with the emotions that are present, it doesn't matter what the story is. You can still reintegrate the emotions. Because remember, the story that exists on the intellectual mental plane, but the feelings that are causing the blockages, those exist somewhat separately on this emotional plane, whether that's the astral or the etheric. That's what we're going to deal with. Sonny Newman says, "Peace and greetings, these nuts." Why? Okay, all right. Okay, so yeah, just going back to the questions real quick. I just want to let everybody know that yes, I'm gonna be live on Monday, so I hope that you will be present, or at least I hope you got the virtual ticket. And also during that same time frame, or right after that, we're gonna be going into this shadow work system. Why? Because I really want to prep you for the Goetia work that I've got coming out. Got a full Goetia book, and I feel that shadow work will give you the best stable platform to work with these entities. And even if you don't, shadow work is still the primary aspect of spiritual growth. Because like I said earlier, if your physical, emotional, and mental bodies are working in harmony with each other, that's going to allow for your soul to shine through without resistance. Because it's about alignment. Alexander Wilkins says, I'll say it now. If you drifted a little farther from the fairy unicorns and peak backlight, you'd help a lot more in the collective due to prior conditioning. That's an opinion. Papa Flan, peace, peace. Okay. All right. So I guess I'm about to head out here. Um, so yeah, like I said, the doors will be opening pretty soon, and I just want to let everybody know what was going on. Peace to everybody joining. If you didn't catch the message, then catch the replay. The UAKU says, is there any correlation between your shadow and your higher self? Well, yeah, see, the self exists on multiple layers. So, what we refer to as the shadow is actually different layers of what we previously called the subconscious mind. So, roughly, generally, you've got the unconscious, the conscious, and then the superconscious, which we could call the higher self. This aspect of the shadow, this is dealing with the unconscious levels of the mind. Saigon K, I'm pretty sure I answered your question, but I guess not. Saigon asks if someone can have natural Reiki in them. Yeah. I mean, where else is it going to come from? Right? Is it going to come from the tools that you're using? Okay, so yeah, like I said, see you guys on Monday if you're going to be present or if you're watching online. Um, Either way, if you feel like you're ready to go forward with shadow work so that you can harmonize your experience so you can actually get the things that you're working towards and not constantly wondering why you're self sabotaging or still dealing with depression or still dealing with self doubt or minimizing yourself in any way, right? Because all these things have an effect on your magic, they have an effect on your work. Everything that you put in, everything, your intention is based on it's based on what's in your current level of awareness. So if you're operating with self-doubt and self-defeat and a low self-image, that's going to bleed through your work. All right? So just stay tuned. I will be posting all the details very soon. I'm just working on the finishing touches of this project. And at the same time, I'm getting ready for a live event. But rest assured, the doors will be open here within just a few days. I want to let everybody know because I'm not doing the live stream because I'm working on this stuff. But I hope you have a great night. Thank you for being here. Smash that like button if you haven't already. And stay tuned because things are about to get super exciting. Trust and believe. And you know what I think? I think that this is perfectly on time because it's Gemini season, right? And who better, who better to help you look in the mirror than a Gemini, right? Shadow work season, all summer long. Shadow work summer. We get through this, everybody's gonna have much, much, much better results in what you're doing, even if you don't take my course, right? If you're somebody who knows how to navigate through these books and you understand psychology yourself, go ahead and do it. Now is the time to focus on that. Now is the time to focus on that. All right. Matthew Watson asks, "What's that music?" Give me a second. I'll pull it up for you. You'll have to look up. Oh. You'll have to look up 432 hertz ambient angelic tones. It's by like Power Thoughts, whatever. If you just type all that in, it'll come up. It's got 3 million views. If you come back, I'll post it in the comments. Winston Breaks, peace, peace. Django, peace. Good evening, my friend. Good evening. Django says Travis dropping some of the most potent and pertinent information available in this age. It's true. It's true. And you know what? I can't even stop to think about it. There's so much more. Listen, there is so much more, right? If you guys have been with me on this Samkhya and this Vedic information, this has really opened up the doors. Because here's the thing I was telling my brother about last night, or my cousin actually. This information is new to the Western world, right? The West didn't start getting into yoga and chakras and none of that stuff until about 100 years ago, right? Around 1909 or something like that is when the first book was published in the West in English about the chakras and all that stuff. So we've only been dealing with this information in the West for about 120 years. Yet everything that we know about magical systems and these secret societies and things like that are founded upon these same principles, right? We didn't know that before. It wasn't public information. Now that we know this, that has the potential to really revolutionize how we understand what we're working with. How many times have you seen a video talking about spiritual stuff and they can talk about it, but they can't explain it? You feel what I'm saying? There's so much information that feels good to us, and there's even info that feels right, but we can't explain it. Well, now I found answers, right? At least for myself. I don't know about you, but I found answers and I found the keys to be able to decipher some of this stuff. So it doesn't have to be spooky anymore. It doesn't have to be, oh, the deep demon lords of the third level of hell are communicating with me. You know, it doesn't have to be like that. If that's fun to you, then let it be fun. But I'm a scientist, right? I consider myself a scientist. I'm a hermetic scientist. So I like to break it down and make it make sense. But yeah, we got so much more to cover, and I'm super, super excited. It's abundance, man. Like, it's abundance. And I don't even care that there's people that are straight up copying my shit because there's so much out here. They can't copy fast enough because I'm already on the next thing. To me, it's not even about trying to like prove or be anything. Like, I literally just feel like I'm an open door letting this stuff come through me. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm super excited. This is what I live for, and it's just so much of a bonus that I'm able to help people with this information. Omni Arlandria says, how do we sign up, or will it be over your live YouTube? I will post the sign up page either tomorrow or the next day. I'm working on the finishing touches, but I'm just letting everybody know about it now so you can have it in your head, just thinking about if this is something you want to do. And like I said, this is going to be user friendly for newbies. This isn't going to be like 10-hour videos. It's going to be in bite-sized pieces so that you can fit it and integrate it into your daily life, right? This is something I would have made for myself. This is something that if my son was older, I'd want him to go through it. This is something I'd really offer to anybody if this was on their mind. We know everybody ain't trying to do shadow work right now. But for those of you who are, now is the perfect time. Gemini season, the mirror, right? Love it. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Tari Marie says anytime is the perfect time. Absolutely. Absolutely. Food Abroad says, do you think people should hold off on working with the Goetia until they reach a milestone or plateau with shadow work? If nothing else, it should be done simultaneously. And shadow work, or at least, here's the thing, we call it shadow work, but really, you're addressing your subconscious mind. That should be done as frequently and as consistently as possible. Being self-aware is what this is. Being self-aware, right? Training yourself to remain self-aware, because if you're not self-aware, you're running on autopilot, right? The aspects of your memory and your subconscious mind that influence you based on trauma or even based on pleasure, these things are what control you if you're not self-aware of them. You get what I'm saying? So I give the example all the time. I had this third grade teacher who called me stupid in class. That affected my whole personality. Because whenever there's some type of say if somebody were to challenge my intellect, I would be triggered based on that memory. And it wasn't until I addressed it and brought it up and reabsorbed it, neutralized it, faced it, looked in that mirror, right? Looked in that mirror without any emotional upset. I was able to move forward stronger. And I noticed that the influence of that impulse faded away. That's what shadow work is. And then you stay self aware because now I know what I'm looking for. When it's in the shadow, you don't see it. When it's in the shadow, you're not looking at it. When it's in the shadow, it's working behind the scenes. So shadow work is turning around, facing that mirror, and addressing it. So yeah, do it at all times. Do it at all times. Ottman says the black mirror, black moon, the gem in eye. Yeah. I see the subconscious mind as like this cave, right? This mine full of diamonds. And I feel like shadow work is really digging in that mine and pulling out those gems. It doesn't have to be something that's this hard, grueling work. This is actually a healing process and it's beautiful, right? Because, like I said, it's not about fighting, it's about reintegrating. And you're going to recognize and realize you got a lot of strength in your subconscious mind that you have yet to tap into. You got a lot of strength in your subconscious mind that you've yet to tap into. So shadow work is not just about facing painful things. There's also wonderful things there as well. Don't forget it. Framestar Films. Peace, brother. I Am Whole E says, should demons be worked with in tandem with their corresponding angel or alone? It depends on what you're doing. Depends on what you're doing. One of the major errors that we all assumed is that the Goetia spirits are balanced by the Shemha Mefrosh, as in this good versus evil. That's entirely false. The Goetic spirits are not the opposites of the Shemha Mefrosh. And I believed that for a while. I was guilty of that, but that's not the truth. It's not the truth. Essentially, they're the same class of entities. They don't have to be balanced like that. Because the Goetic spirits are not demons. They're not demons. They're technically a class of what we could consider angels. Atropa, peace, peace. DK says, because it is being clouded by the shadow, we can't do the subconscious work. That's exactly it. That's exactly it. Fuda says a lot of demons were previously considered angels. You're absolutely right. As a matter of fact, most all of the Goetic spirits used to be gods and goddesses of different pantheons of the past, which means at some point cultures used each one of those spirits to access a specific part of their subconscious mind. So if you take this course and you read my book, you'll see how intricately shadow work ties into these Goetic spirits. Here's the thing. When you do shadow work, you remove a lot of the negative gunk that would come up when you're working with these Goetic spirits. The UAKU says, so can we start integrating the shadow through non-attachment and reassigning meanings? Yes, those are two of the major keys and tools that I talk about in this course. Those are two major keys and tools, non-attachment and hijacking the matrix. Stray Panther says, will there be any ritual practices with the shadow work course? Because this was aimed towards more of a general audience, like I don't want people to be scared away by rituals, but there will be guided meditations, right? Path working. So yeah, but I won't call them rituals, right? Because I don't want to scare anybody away. But I am thinking of in the future maybe including some bonus information as far as working with certain servitors or spirits or angels to assist you in that process. But for the most part, it's going to be a little bit more general so people can stay focused on the inner work. All right. So again, I just want to let everybody know about what's going on. 2 books on the way, one about Goetia, one about the higher self. Immediately, I'm going to be in Atlanta giving a live conference. That's going to be on Monday. Hopefully, you're going to be there, or at least watching online. And also, right after that, we're going into this shadow work mastery system. I hope that you are a part of this. And here's to an abundant, harmonious rest of your life. This is TK Trav, aka Travis Magus, here with LVX777. I love you guys. I hope to see you on Monday. And if you're interested, go ahead and become a part of the Shadow Work Mastery system. All right. Kevros Scott says, can I watch it online? Yes, there are still digital tickets. If you need me to post the link, I'll post it in the comments as soon as this video is finished uploading. You guys are amazing. All of you are amazing. I love seeing your names and your faces, and hopefully I get to see you in person on Monday. This is exciting. Yeah. Yeah. Take care. Peace. There's still 44 people here. It's over. It's done. It's a wrap. Okay, look. So, if you are interested in this song here, this binaural beat, check out 432 hertz, ambient angelic tones. I love this binaural stuff, man. It really works. It really does. I've been using it for years. Caesar, peace, bro. Matthew Watson, I need to get some new icons. I need to get some new icons for the chat. Maybe you guys can give me some suggestions of what kind of little icons we can use. All right, for real though, time to go. Steel unicorn. Oh, Shiva. Yeah, that's a nice one. Get Swami Niranjananda's head. Oh, that would be funny. All right, time to go for real.